Hello, I'm Sergeant Andy Williams with the Phoenix Police Department Public Affairs Bureau. The information, audio, video, and pictures you're about to see are intended to provide details, as we currently understand them, of an officer-involved shooting that occurred on June 3rd, 2021. This video may contain strong language as well as graphic images which could be disturbing to some people. Viewer discretion is advised. This incident occurred in the area of 15th Avenue and Camelback Road when a Phoenix police officer observed an adult male, later identified as 39-year-old William Brookins, pointing a gun at a man and a woman. The officer was fully uniformed, working off-duty, conducting traffic control at the intersection that day. He had just finished his shift and was seated inside his vehicle preparing to leave. The officer overheard a loud commotion and observed Brookins pointing a handgun at a man and a woman. The officer approached on foot, drew his duty weapon, and told Brookins to drop the gun. A woman with Brookins who witnessed the incident also reported hearing the officer identify himself and tell Brookins to drop the gun. The woman also said she shouted that the police were there. Brookins did not respond to the commands, and the officer fired, striking Brookins. When an officer activates their body-worn camera, it captures 30 seconds of video before the activation and begins capturing video and audio after the activation. This is why there is no audio on this portion of the body-worn camera video. Immediately after the shooting, the officer advised dispatch of the incident, activated his body-worn camera, and requested an ambulance. The officer also notified dispatch he believed Brookins had just committed an armed robbery nearby and was in the process of committing a second one. The police code for armed robbery is 211.
No additional suspects. He's down. I guess he's 211 just shortly before I was here, and I caught him in the middle of an additional 211.
The view of the camera is not at eye level and will not capture the same perspective the officer sees. Per policy, Phoenix police officers wear their body-worn camera at chest level. Here is a slowed down and stabilized version of the incident. When backup officers arrived, they approached Brookins and moved the gun away from him. Officers searched and evaluated Brookins in an effort to begin medical aid. Due to the nature of his injuries, the medical assistance the officers could provide was limited. Officers stayed with Brookins and attempted to keep him on his side in the recovery position until Phoenix fire personnel arrived and transported him to a local hospital. After the shooting, investigators learned that the man and the woman that Brookins was pointing a gun at had just been involved in a shoplifting at a nearby store. Brookins was the passenger in this silver SUV. He told the driver to follow the man and woman to the nearby parking lot, where he got out of the SUV and confronted them with a gun. The shoplifting that was reported is under investigation. The handgun used by Brookins was recovered on scene. Brookins remained hospitalized for 5 days after the shooting until June 8th, when he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased. The officer involved in this shooting is assigned to the Maryville Precinct Patrol Division and has been with the department for 4 years. This incident is the subject of both an internal and a criminal investigation, which will be reviewed by the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Conclusions about whether the actions of the officer are consistent with department policy and the law will not be made until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete.
This video was intended to inform and educate the public about a critical incident in our community. You can learn about the Phoenix Police Department's transparency policy on our website.